The human mind is the most powerful instrument ever produced by nature, and the least disciplined. It generates ideas, dreams, and insights that can alter civilizations, yet it also fabricates and distortions reality that can destroy an individual's peace. The difference between clarity and chaos lies in how you use it for perception. Most people never learn how to think. They only learn how to react. Thought left to drift becomes self-indulgent propaganda. Thought directed with precision becomes the foundation of human sanity and wisdom. Mental health begins when thinking becomes deliberate and dissolves rumination habits. Clear thinking requires the courage to see things as they are, not as you would prefer them to be. The mind has a bias for comfort. It edits perception to protect emotion. It will twist logic to defend pride, cling to false certainty to avoid confusion, and turn pain into blame rather than growth. The disciplined thinker recognizes this tendency and refuses to let it run their lives. You do not think clearly by accident. You think clearly by confrontation, by catching yourself in distortion and demanding evidence through objective probability. This is not cynicism. It is respect for reality. A mind that worships its own opinions becomes a prison. A mind that questions itself always becomes free. To think well, you must separate observation from interpretation. These are two separate issues. Something happens, then the mind assigns meaning to it. That subtle difference between a fact and a self-indulged storytelling is where suffering breeds. For example, a phone text message not returned becomes "I'm not of value." A rejection becomes "I'm worthless." The facts are neutral. The self-stories poison them. Clarity comes when you slow the process and name both layers, what actually occurred and what you told yourself about it. The disciplined mind edits the self-created narrative with precision, stripping away emotional exaggeration until only truth remains. It's not detachment. It's accuracy. Most mental suffering comes from unexamined assumptions. People believe thoughts because they feel true, not because they are true. Anxiety predicts disaster as if forecasting were certainty. Shame insists that a single failure defines your identity. Depression whispers that the future will repeat the past. Each of these thoughts feels convincing, but none are facts. The disciplined mind challenges them with data. What do I actually know? What other explanations exist? What evidence supports this fear? Cognitive neuroscience has proven what philosophy long has said. Questioning your own mind is the beginning of freedom. Language is thought's operating system. False words make false minds narratives. When you speak vaguely, you think vaguely. Precision in language forces precision in emotion. "I'm overwhelmed" could mean a dozen different things. "I have too many commitments and no priorities" identifies a solvable problem. Line up your commitments and start prioritizing. Clear expression is not cosmetic, it's structural. The way you describe your life determines what you can change in it. To discipline thought, you need to discipline speech. Rumination is another trap. The mind's habit of obsessing on problems it won't move beyond. It feels productive but resolves nothing. The more you replay the same issue, the deeper you imprint it into your neural pathways. You are not thinking. You are rehearsing despair. The solution is movement. Write the problem down, make a plan, act. Clarity often emerges through behavior, not contemplation. A body in motion stabilizes a mind in chaos. Attention is the currency of our thoughts. Whatever you attend to grows. If you attend to resentment, it strengthens. If you attend to understanding, knowledge expands. Modern life is designed to hijack attention, to scatter it among trivial stimuli until nothing seems coherent. A disciplined thinker learns to direct focus like a laser, choosing carefully what deserves mental attention, reading deeply, solving complex problems, sitting silently. These acts are resistance training for the brain. Without focus, intellect decays into reaction. Thinking well does not mean overthinking. Endless analysis is avoidance in disguise, the mind's way of substituting clarity with rumination. Once you have enough information to make a reasonable choice, act. Reality will give feedback faster than thought alone ever could. Every mistake is a data point. Every attempt refines understanding. Perfectionism is not high standards. It's fear disguised as logic. The disciplined mind knows when to stop thinking and start doing. A healthy mind accepts uncertainty. You will never have complete information, total control, or guaranteed outcomes. The need for certainty is the birthplace of anxiety. Once you accept that not knowing is part of life, your thoughts stop spinning in panic. You learn to function when life is ambiguous, to make provisional decisions, revise them when new facts emerge, and remain at ease with incompleteness. That ability is intelligence in its highest form. Ultimately, the discipline of thought is moral as much as intellectual. It is the refusal to be dishonest with yourself. It is the daily practice of asking, is this true? Is this useful? Is this necessary? And adjusting behavior accordingly. It's not about becoming emotionless. It's about ensuring emotion serves reason, not the reverse. The world is full of clever people who can manipulate words and logic, but very few who can think cleanly under pressure. Those few, the ones who can stay factual when frightened, balanced when provoked, and rational when others panic, are truly sane individuals. A disciplined mind doesn't promise happiness. It promises orientation, the ability to navigate complexity without drowning in it. It allows emotion without distortion, passion without delusion, and belief without blindness. It is the quiet strength that underlies every dimension of mental health. If your thoughts are in order, you can face anything. Without that linear thinking, even comfort becomes chaos. Linear thought is the foundation of human rationale. Everything else depends upon it. Character is the spine of the mind. It is the framework that holds integrity in place when emotion sways and logic falters. You can have intelligence, talent, and charm, but without character, they collapse under stress. Good mental health is not just about how you think or feel. It's about the kind of person you choose to be when both thinking and feeling are difficult. Character is stability made visible. Character begins with responsibility. It's the internal agreement that you will respond to life instead of resenting it. Most people spend their days assigning blame to their parents, their partners, their circumstances, the economy, or fate. It changes nothing. Responsibility is not about fault. It's about authorship. You may not have written the first chapter of your life, but you are always writing the next one. That shift, from victim to participant, is the point where maturity begins. Responsibility gives direction to pain and purpose to effort. It transforms complaint into control. Discipline is the next pillar. It's not repression or harshness. It's reliability. Discipline is how you keep promises to yourself when no one's watching. It's the daily decision to do what needs doing, even when mood resists. Without it, emotion rules, and emotion ungoverned turns erratic. The mind needs boundaries the way the body needs skin. Discipline defines those boundaries. It creates rhythm, order, and predictability, which are the nervous system's natural allies. A disciplined person doesn't chase motivation. They rely on structure. That structure becomes freedom, because it replaces chaos with control. Integrity follows naturally. To live without integrity is to live at war with yourself. Every lie, every hidden compromise, every act that contradicts your values splits the psyche. The result is anxiety that no therapy can fix because the source is internal betrayal. Integrity is mental alignment. Thought, word, and action pointing in the same direction. When aligned, the mind quiets. You no longer burn energy managing contradictions. Peace of mind is impossible without moral consistency. Humility protects integrity from arrogance. It keeps you learning instead of posturing. The humble mind doesn't mistake partial knowledge for truth. It listens, adjusts, and admits error. Humility doesn't mean self-degradation. It means proportionality. You recognize that you are one piece in a vast system, and that understanding is always incomplete. This realism, far from diminishing confidence, grounds it. It prevents the self from inflating to the point of collapse. Courage is what turns values into action. It's not the absence of fear. It's movement through fear. Every meaningful act, telling the truth, setting a boundary, pursuing a goal, ending something unhealthy, requires courage. The nervous system doesn't distinguish between emotional risk and physical danger. Both trigger alarm. The courageous person proceeds anyway, knowing that fear signals importance, not impossibility. With repetition, the mind learns, I can survive this. Confidence is not inherited. It's earned through courageous acts repeated until competence replaces terror. Resilience completes the structure. It is not stoic denial of pain. It's adaptation to it. The resilient person doesn't pretend things don't hurt. They just refuse to let pain define them. They experience loss, learn from it, and reorganize. Resilience is an active process, learning, not merely enduring. Every setback carries information about what needs strengthening or changing. When you treat difficulty as data instead of injustice, Every challenge becomes a workshop in durability.